Mathematics. Divisibility test. Now we go on to the topic. Divisibility test. Index. Test by 2. Test by 3. Test by 4. Test by 5. Test by 6. Test by 8. Test by 9. Test by 10. And test by 11. And test by 12. Now we will discuss about that. Now divisibility test. Test by 2. A number is divisible by 2 if it has 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8 in its ones place. Now you can see in this 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, you know 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 has a name, that is even number. You know what is even numbers. It will be easy if you know the even numbers. Now we go on to the example. Now 12, 15, 26, 34, 40, 99, 102, 166, 183, 222, 500, 2996, 71,338 and 1,06,555. Now you can see here sum in the odd numbers and the sum in the even numbers. If the numbers in even numbers, it will divisible by 2. Okay? Now 12. Now 2 is the even number, so that it is divisible by 2. Now 15. Now 5 is in the ones place we have 5, so that it is not even number, it is odd number, so that it is not divisible by 2. Now we go on to the next biggest numbers. Now the digit in the ones place of 71,338 is 8. Now, hence 71,338 is divisible by 2. Now we go on to the next, that is divisible by test. Test by 3. A number is divisible by 3 if the sum of the digit in the number is divisible by 3. Now we go on to the example. Now 24. Now we have to do with divisibility rule means which they give any number. We have to add the number. If we add we will get one answer. That answer should be in the 3 table. Now we go on to the example. That is 24. Now 24 we will add the number. 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. Now 6 we can see in the 3 table, so that it is divisible by 3. Now 6 is divisible by 3. Hence 24 is divisible by 3. Now we go on to the another example. 369. Now we have to add the number. 3 plus 6 plus 9 is equals to 18. The 18 is divisible by 3, so that it will divisible by 3. Now 18 is divisible by 3. Hence 369 is divisible by 3. Now we go on to the another example. That is 5,07,432. Now we have to add the number. 5 plus 0 plus 7 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 is equals to 21. Now 21 also is there in the 3 table, so that it will divisible by 3. Now 5,07,432 is divisible by 3. Hence 5,07,432 is divisible by 3. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test. Test by 4. Now a number is divisible by 4 if the number formed by the digits in its ones and tens place is divisible by 4. Now we go on to the example. You have some clear. Now 40. Since 40 is divisible by 4, how? Now we have to divisible by 4 means in the ones and tens place is divisible by 4. Now 40. Now we have ones place and tens place for 40. Now 40 we can see in the 4 table is 40. 4 tens are 40. So that since 40 is divisible by 4. If we have in the ones and tens place is divisible by 4 in the table, it can be divisible by 4. Now we go on to the 40 is divisible by 4. Now we go on to the another example. You have some clear. Now 532. Since 532 is divisible by 4, how? In the ones and tens place we have 32. Now 32 is divisible by 4. In the 4 table we can see that 32 in the 4 table. So that it will divisible by. Now 532 is divisible by 4. Now we go to the another example. 9908. Since 9908 is divisible by 4. Now you can see here 1908. Now you can see in the tens place there was 0. Now in the 0 we don't have any value. So that we remove the 0 and we have only in the ones place 8. So that 8 is divisible by 4. Okay. Now 1908 is divisible by 4. Now 5000. Since 5000 is divisible by 4. How? In the ones and tens place there was 0. There is no value of it. Now 5000 is divisible by 4. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test. Test by 5. A number is divisible by 5 if it has 0 or 5 in its ones place. Now we go on to the examples. You have some clear explanation. Now 10. Since 10 is divisible by 5, how? First we have to check in the ones place. If the 5 or 0 have means in the ones place, it's divisible by 5. Now we go on to the more examples. We have some clear explanation. Now 10 is divisible by 5. Now 55. Since 55 is divisible by 5, 55 is divisible by 5. How? In the ones place there was 5, so then it will be divisible by 5. Now 300. Since 300 is divisible by 5, how? In the ones place we have 0. 300 is divisible by 5. Now 5005. Since 5005 is divisible by 5, how? 5005 is divisible by 5. How means in the ones place we have 5, so that. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test. Test by 6. Now a number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by both 2 and 3. Now example. Now a number is divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits in the number is divisible by 3. Now we go on to the example. Now 24. 2 plus 4 equals to 6. Now 6 is divisible by 3 and hence 24 is divisible by 3. Now we have a doubt. Why we take 3 table here? Why? Because we have to divisible by 6 means the numbers in the divisibility test 2 and divisibility test 3 should be divisible by. Okay? Now we go on to the example. You have some clear. Now 24. Now a number is divisible by 2 if it has 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 in its ones place. Now you can see 24 is divisible by 3 and 24 is divisible by 2 also. Now why? Because it is divisible by 2. In the ones place there is a 4. It is an even number, so that it is divisible by. In the 3, how it is divisible by? You have to add the number in the given answer. It should be in the 3 table. If it is in the 3 table, it is divisible by A number is divisible by 2 and 3, hence the number is divisible by 6. Okay. Now we go on to the next, that is test by 8. The numbers is divisible by 8 if the number formed by the digits in its ones, tens and hundreds place is divisible by 8. Now we go on to the example 1. Now 24,168. Divisibility, our topic name is divisibility test. Now 168 divisible by 8. Now why we take only 168? Why? Because we have to divisible by 8 means we have to take hundreds, tens and ones place in the given number. Okay. Now we will divisible by 8. How we will see. Now 8 to the 16. Now by we get 0, so that we get 8 to the down, so that 8 ones are 8. We get down, so that 8 ones are 8. And by 0, we get answer is 0. Now 168 is divisible by 8, so 24,168 is divisible by 8. If we get in the remainder 0, we get it will divisible by 8. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility 8. Divisibility test 8. A number is divisible by 8 if the number formed by the digits in the ones, tens and hundreds place is divisible by 8. Now we go on to the example. You have some here. Now example 2. Now 77,008. Now our topic name is divisibility test. Now 8,000 8. Now we will divisible. Now 8008 we have. Now you have doubt. In the hundreds and tens place we have 0. How we can do? If we have 0 in the tens place or the place also, there is no value of it. So that we have to remove that. We have to think it is not there. The zeros are not there. Now 8 ones are 8. So that the remainder is 0. So that it will divisible by 8. Now 008 is divisible by 8. So 77,008 is divisible by 8. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test. Test by 8. A number is divisible by 8 if the number formed by the digits in the ones, tens and hundreds place is divisible by 8. Example 3. 1,43,800. Now 800 divided by 8. Now we have it down. Here in the before slide we see 8008. Now you can see here 800. Now for zeros, now we have 800. There is value. How we have 8 in the before, after we have 0, so that it has value of it. Now how? If the zeros, how we can divisible by? Now 8 ones are 8. Now it is over. How we get the remainder 0? Now the 0, now it is not have value. So that we have to keep in the remainder 0. And behind the 800 we have 2 zeros. So that we have to keep the 2 zeros in the quotient. Okay. Now 800 is divisible by 8. So 1,43,800 is divisible by 8. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test. Test by 9. Now a number is divisible by 9 if the sum of the digits in the number is divisible by 9. Now example. Now we go on to the example. Now 36. 3 plus 6 is equals to 9. Now same like the 3 divisibility test also. Now for 3 divisible test we will add the number. Same we have to do here also in the 9 table. In the 9 divisibility test. Now we add 3 plus 6 is equals to 9. So that now 9 is divisible by 9. Now hence 36 is divisible by 9. Now we go on to the another example. Now 909. 9 plus 0 plus 9. 9 plus 9 is equals to 18. Why I ask 9 plus 9? In the 0, if we add or we not add, there is no value of 0. Now 18 is divisible by 9. Now 18 is divisible by 9. Hence 909 is divisible by 9. Now we go on to the another example. The another example is big example. That is 65,07,432. Now 6 plus 5 plus 7 plus 0, 7 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 is equals to 27. Now 27 is divisible by 9 and hence 65,07,432 is divisible by 9. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test. Test by 10. Now a number is divisible by 10 if the digits in the ones place is 0. Now we go on to the example, we have clear explanation. Now 10. Since 10 is divisible by 10, how? In that we have to divisible by 10 means in the ones place should be 0 only. Now in the ones place we have 0 for 10, so that it will be divisible by 10. 10 is divisible by 10. Now 90. Since 90 is divisible by 10, 90 is divisible by 10. Now 300. Since 300 is divisible by 10, 300 is divisible by 10. And 10,000 is, since 10,000 is divisible by 10, 10,000 is divisible by 10. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test 11. Now a number is divisible by 11 if the difference from sum of digits in the even and odd place is 0 or a multiple of 11. Now we go on to the example, we have clear explanation. Now 65,054. Now how we have to do? Now we have to leave one number and again we have to leave number and we have to add the number. For example, now we have 65,054. Now we have to add 604. If we have to add that numbers only, we get 10. Now 65,054. Now we have to add remaining numbers, that is 5 and 5 we left the number. Now we have to add that both number. Now we add that both number means we get 10 only. Now we get here same answer. Now equal answer. Now their odd place and even place are equal as given in this statement. Now even or odd or equal. Now hence 65,054 is divisible by 11. How? If the answers will came same means it will divisible by 11. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test. Test by 11. A number is divisible by 11 if the difference from of sum of digits in the given and odd place is 0 or a multiple of 11. Now example 2. Now 10 lakhs 1 lakh 155. Now we have to add 1 plus 0 plus 5 is equals to 6. Now in the remaining numbers also we have to add, that is 5, 0, 1, 5. We get 6. Now there are equal answers. Now here odd place and even place are equal as given in the statement. Hence 1,155 is divisible by 11. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test. Test by 11. A number is divisible by 11 if the difference of sum of digits in the even and odd place is 0 or a multiple of 11. Now example 3. Now we take another example, that is 9,70,464. We have to add the one leaving number and one leaving number, that is 0 plus 9 plus 0 plus 6 is equals to 15, and remaining numbers also we have to add, that is 7 plus 4 plus 4 is equals to 15. Now there are equal answers. Now here odd place and even place are equal as given in the statement. Hence 9,70,464 is divisible by 11. Now we go on to the next slide, that is divisibility test. Test by 12. Now a number is divisible by 12 if it is divisible by both 3 and 4. Example, a number is divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits in the number is divisible by 3. Now 48. Now 44 plus 8 is equals to 12. Now 12 is divisible by 3. Now hence 43 is divisible by 3. Now why we take 3 table? I will say afterwards. Now 48. Since 48 is divisible by 4. 48 is divisible by 4. How? In the 48 is divisible in the 48 is in the 4th table, so that it is divisible by. Now the 48 is divisible by both 3 and 4, so that it is divisible by 12 also. It seems like 6. If we am to 6 means it should has 2 and 3. Same like for 12 also, 3 and 12. 3 and 4 is divisible by, then 12 also will divisible by. Now, the number is divisible by 3 and 4, hence the number is divisible by 12. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.